Protesters took over a building in the University of Washington yesterday, locking everybody else out. Later on in the night, Seattle police, along with Washington State Patrol, came back and took the building back over. You're seeing footage all over national news. A lot of that is mine. I do social media as a side quest. I actually film for TV news. Here's what else you need to know. So as the day went on a lot of social media, it was showing that this was a much larger event than what it ultimately really was. However, it's not over yet. Roughly about 60 to 125 protesters were involved throughout the day. They ultimately took over a building called the Interdisciplinary Engineering Building. They went inside, took chains, chained the door shut, and held up inside there. As law enforcement began to descend on the campus, they lit a barricade on fire. This is a common tactic in these types of events. Once Seattle Fire put that out using their deck gun, then Washington State Patrol and Seattle Police Department came in. This has been misrepresented a bit by a lot of outlets. So Washington State Patrol was really lead on this. Seattle Police Department was assisting and really handling the exterior crowd control, while Washington State Patrol led the entry team. There were still a number of protesters outside continuing to hold signs and do chants. One thing that stuck out to me as somebody who covers these, and I go back into much wilder protests as well, this actually was a group of people who did seem to be there for the cause they were stating. Sometimes these ended up getting co-opted and people like myself show up and there's a lot of hostility. This group really was not hostile towards cameras at all. They were definitely hostile in their chants towards police, but they were not hostile towards cameras and seemed fine that we were there. And though a lot did wear masks, not everybody was trying to hide their face. So as State Patrol moved inside the building, it turned out this chain that looked like it had secured the place was actually just wrapped around. The padlock wasn't padlocked. I don't know if on purpose or by accident. They didn't ultimately padlock the chain to anything that would have stopped them. They just pulled the chain out, went on in, and they sent in dozens of law enforcement. As the night went on, they pulled out about 25 people. Confirmed this morning it was 25 arrests. They're getting a misdemeanor trespassing charge at this point. I'm sure a lot of you who watch these will get in the comments and say how that's not enough. I'll get into in the next video as to why that's what the charge will be. What does matter, though, is it looks like tonight this is going to go again. Now, nobody's taken a building this time, but these protests don't appear to be stopping anytime soon. All the footage you're seeing in this is footage I shot. This is kind of where I got my start, actually, is filming protests. And just kind of anytime there are a group of people who otherwise generally follow the day-to-day rules, say, F it, we're doing something different. And those are the kind of things I really like to go out and kind of see. Just kind of all ends of the spectrum, regardless of political or geopolitical views. I always find those very interesting because a lot of the people who are involved in these are people who otherwise had things that they would be doing, had things going on, and they hit that flashpoint and they decide they're going to do something very different. So I'll keep you updated as these go on.